Greens. All right, finally here. Yeah, the energy shift the other day. So yeah, it might not have been an attack. Who knows? I think it. Who knows? Either way. All right, here we are. Rings. Blue elephant. Psychedelic energies. I just felt the moon elephant energy, which is the elephant consciousness. Yeah, I had a grandmother that was big on elephants. I used to collect them. So let's see some of that going on, and also the world breakdown and Britney Spears. It doesn't mean the world is completely breaking down, but it's not exactly doing the best. They call it, they blame inflation and all that. The economy is not exactly going great. The tech companies, it'd be interesting. Like one day, Apple won't be at the power that they are right now. Google, interesting. I mean, I don't know. Google is weird. It feels like maybe they'll prop it up somehow, which is interesting because Apple is just on the iPhone. It's like selling microwave ovens. It won't be as what it is today unless they come up with something. Of course, Google is it's getting government help here and there, so of course all of them do. But and Facebook is a spy network to a certain level, not completely. There is good guys there, or the White Hats. I don't know if I want to go to the White House, the White Hat situation, but whatever. Everybody needs a hero, right? Especially the occult energies out there. So I go into Britney Spears is kind of hitting deadlines of going crazy or whatever it might be. So maybe it's our version of Cleopatra. Maybe not. MK Ultra breakdown, you can say. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, there's a lot of symbolism, energies in her frequency. I don't know, mind control, whatever it needs to be. All right, so avatar.com for private sessions. Schedule. The shop here. Oh, I keep forgetting to fix this. I'm doing other things. I don't know why they do this. All right, so okay, we're going to elephant consciousness, moon energy. So of course the moon plays a big role in everything. Yeah, not being on YouTube is not doing me too much good, but oh well, there's not much I can do about it. Just go with it. Survive. Try to survive. The convenience of YouTube has helped a lot of people. I guess I'm just not getting the love as I used to, so just the way it is. Okay, all right, we're going to moon frequency or elephant moon and move on from there. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greece is the moon consciousness. As much of the moon, there's different energies of the moon's frequency. It's removing darkness from oneself while allowing more of the light to come through. If one is ready for that. Of course, the manipulators here on the planet are given somewhat full reign only because they have their hooks in so many people. And those individuals is almost like a life support for those that cannot take care of themselves energetically. Some of you can take care of yourself energetically. Just wonder why so many people need a god to look up to. The god frequency here, it's, you can say it manifested itself here, and the alien free doesn't mean these gods are gods. They're just at the right place at the right time, you can say, because a lot of them are not that talented, but they do have a huge effect here. As for the elephant frequency that's here, is seeing more, but from a different point of view. Of course, the elephant has a land mass, a mass of itself that is very, and you know, it carries a lot of knowledge. Let's put it that way. It's hard to move, and some of you have that frequency. It doesn't mean you have to be the size of the elephant, but some do carry that frequency. Basically, it's like higher knowledge. So connected to elephant frequency, as you can see, Ganesh energies, it is going to a form of kind of like the unknown, an unknown but known. Like going like the elephant. So elephant energies also has a sign to it. But you see elephants, it's kind of like, of course, you see rabbits also and frogs. The all a lot of animals have, and of course, people are afraid of the black cat energy, and that's just superstition. But the elephant energy does show of growth. I mean, not to say the rabbit isn't growth or the frog, all of it's growth, but the elephant is similar to the owl in some ways, is symbolic. It can see things differently, of like a psychedelic energy almost. Of course, not many people. I mean, when you see an owl, you feel like, wow, that's very rare. Or even an eagle or a hawk for that matter. Seeing an elephant is very rare, but just seeing it as a symbol says a lot. It's not like you can go outside and see an elephant being. Not that much. Or you guess you could have one projected to you, but seeing just like signs of what's to come. The blue elephant, of course, you hear about the white rabbit into Wonderland. The elephant has its own psychedelic connections also. To feel the fear of the unknown. Basically, you are being guided by a force. Just to give you an idea of, seeing something of that magnitude. And why aren't alien beings interfering with this world? Why should they? This is your world. Do as you please. Why are there aliens here? Well, sometimes, you have to sort things out without your alien friends, at least physically. It's like sometimes, because then you go and, we go to them, and then their problems are their problems, and they don't want that. No matter how much you try to change the subject matter or turn around, it's always going to be no. It's like, yeah, but if you guys show up, things can get better. You can clean everything up. Yes, but remember, it is your world, remember? In case you forgot. You incarnated, dude, here. Doesn't mean this world's your responsibility. But there are rules here, even if you don't feel like you have free will. There is a version of it, maybe not the version that you'd like to, but there is, your manifestation can break through a lot of this. So just the right timing, it's many factors that come into it. But the elephant beings that are here basically to keep your world going is necessary. Basically the souls here obviously have a lot of darkness they have not balanced. And so let them do as they must to figure themselves out with no judgment at all. More like curiosity on our end. So where can you take all of this? Low, highs, whatever it is. It's all observation from our end, along with other beings. Now, there are the elephants, like any other feline beings and canines, we're not ones to judge because we can go through the same situations, even worse. So it is a lot of curiosity. You can say you're warning for us, but we're all in this together in some form or another. Let's put it that way. Even on another reality, we can feel what you're going through. Of course, it depends on what frequency we're at. Brings you energies from spirits or astral plane or wherever you want a neutral frequency. The world is retracting, slowing down. because there is still an identity. If you say humanity in general, not in the entire world, but there are places where it is hitting the brakes. And you can say financial breaks, however you want to look at it. It's just that there is a chaotic frequency with your trickster frequencies with your politicians, money managers, and so on. It's just the world isn't going to be always like this. It has to change, and it's showing marks of it currently. It takes another direction. So, I mean, you have cars, driving on your roads, and one day you might take the bus, or you might walk, or just who needs a car? And yes, there can be a time frame where that does become more normal, as you already seen car ride sharing, things like that. You get into more cabs and things like that, and there's a possibility of that becoming more the norm and less people driving. Is independence, but also a lot of, it is an exit point for many. It'll still exist. But we do see like just travel changing in the future as a possibility, but it's highly likely. Not all areas of the world, but like the US needs to calm itself down, slow down, look at itself. No reason to be in a hurry. It was a hurry to go nowhere in the past, because a lot of challenges with going too fast here in the physical realms. Some do find their exit point, but it's not the exit point they're looking for, meaning like you can get lost here very easily. Now you're in the ghost realm. And that's not always what it's. Yeah, and some people that are on their deathbed that have done heavy drugs and ready to die, a lot of them have walked into that realm. Even if they have not died, but some of them felt it, seen as like they might not mention it, they might not remember when they wake up. It's like, I better find Jesus right away, or whatever. Britney Spears frequency. There's a Venus energy there. It also shows there is a purge frequency. It's also just showing like the feminine, with a portion of the feminine what it's going through currently. Of course, there's an ego frequency that's going on there also. It also shows that why the female is not in charge of the world completely, as much as like it to be. Is so emotionally out of control, and at least on some part, not everyone's like that, but as some of you know, when the feminine energy gets in power, it can be like a fireworks or firecracker or nuclear issues, like in your time at Atlantis. So it's like a reminder. As I said, the masculine doesn't have their issues. The masculine a lot of times has a greed issue, but also mismanagement. But it is a grounding frequency overall. As for the world breaking down, falling apart, it's changing. It is taking U-turns. It's not going where you thought it was going to go, and that's okay. Yes, it might be difficult, but you're on this ride no matter what. Doesn't mean you have to go through a political war or a actual war to have a political war. There will be a political war. It's more like just high school mind games in the adult world. Well, it just shows the immaturity. It's like, for Trump's sake, sometimes he has to act like a spoiled brat because those in the media are acting like that too. To act like a baby. If the media is acting like a baby, the politicians sometimes act like a baby too. Just to give you some insight into that. It's just that's the energy of your world, and it's not obviously you say that to an adult that's acting like that, like your media. See how far, especially when they're so-called successful. Maybe that's an exterior situation that is still, but if you're successful, truly successful, you should be able to go to work casually. Look halfway decent. You want to look like a hag. Well, I guess you could, but you go halfway just casual, be yourself, say what's on your mind. You don't have to pretend you're this avatar that's accepted by society. You don't have to wear all this makeup. for male or female. What for some, there's nothing wrong with appearances, keeping you up to a certain level, but it doesn't have to be where you feel like you're suffocating and dying. You'd be surprised how many feel that way, especially in the media. The media is, yes, your version of Big Brother to a certain level, and many of them know that, but that's part of their growth. And eventually, they'll, as they get out of that mind control, they can see more. I'm saying that mind control for lifetimes. You can go into spirit and still be under mind control, just to let you know. It doesn't always end here. It can go other places. That's why some of you are finding, you're pulling out of the mind control mindset. It is lonely. It is painful because you're outside the system. Not to say the system is anything to get excited about, because it's not. But outside isn't so great either, because you feel like no one can hear you, talk to you, or you just feel alone. Of course, you might be kind of just spirit realms, but even then, you just kind of wonder, do they even know what I'm thinking, or understand me, or whatever? And they don't always do that either. Spirit realms, I mean, there are beings in the spirit realm that do understand you, but it doesn't mean they have to say anything to you. Just like, they just sit there and they're very quiet while you have a nervous breakdown. But shedding the mind control of this world may not be attractive, but energetically, it is you moving forward into a higher level. Doesn't mean you have to take the world with you, because the world is going to fight. I mean, the world went to such an adolescent frequency. Not all, but a good part of society is still crying, angry, not ready to connect to itself. But that's okay. But for some of you that want to move up, it can still be interesting and evolve. Sometimes you feel like if you evolve, it can't be interesting. And you can be, but just people here might not get it. It might go, as I say, go over their heads. But yeah, has a lot of lonely factors to it. But those that want to evolve or can see you possibly in your life, possibly, if they want to see it. Oh yeah, you're crazy, because the mind control is so much more to life. It's like the McDonald's of thinking. It's just more welcoming, friendlier, nicer. It's delusional. Again, McDonald's is like, oh, this is good for me. Yes, it comes with delusion also, and that's free. Delusion's free with your meal. And yes, some that are walking around with a big smile on their face, a lot of them are ignorance is bliss. Yes. They literally it's like a brand. Ignorance is, or just naivety, or delusion. They all kind of connect to in some level, not completely, but sometimes ignorance brings the most happiness. But some of you just not into all of that, just really want to see the world for what it really is. Not to say you have to be depressed about it, but it's like, you know what? Walking around is like everything's going to be great and fine. It's nice. But eventually you have to, come down to reality. And you'd be surprised how many don't want to. But it is good to have a positive outlook of your existence, definitely. But realize also the seriousness. Yes, many in spiritual growth you get very serious. Well, you're sculpting yourself, you're building yourself. So sometimes it's concentration. So yeah, some of you put jokes out there, others like, I don't know. But humor is helpful though. But if you're in the middle of study of soul growth, jokes don't always work. Sometimes it can. But if you're doing a lot of inner work, or trapped, and trapped, it means like trapped under some cult leader mind control, but sometimes you need a student of that, for various different reasons. Be surprised, sometimes you have to go through that to help others, sometimes in your own family line, to break free of situations like that. So it's very serious, because these cult beings can hold on to a soul for almost forever. So sometimes you have to dive into that incarnation to a certain level. It's like joining a religion. You just listen to it. Doesn't mean you're fully bought into it, but just kind of monitor to see the mindset and the mind control that's going on there. So,